Hello guys, this is Chicago Ted. Sorry, I was listening to a little bit of music here. This is one of my favorite songs, but whatever. I'll get right back to it tonight. So we're gonna jump right on in to Game 2 of a best of 2 series between Say No to Meepo and Ozone. And it looks like they haven't put up their banner today, but this match, but we'll go in nonetheless. And actually, it looks like a remake coming on right now, so we're gonna duck right on out of this game. Someone had issues and join right back onto this lobby, so I'm just gonna put up a little bit of a lobby status for you guys. It looks like we shouldn't have any real trouble here getting everyone back on into this game. Sorry about that, guys. Just a little bit of a false start, but we shouldn't have to worry too much. I'm just waiting on people to kind of phase in here, all the team members to join up. As we see, Ozone, Swagasaurus, Epicurus hasn't quite entered the game just yet. And it looks like there he is. Alright, so we're going to be starting really soon. I'm not sure All Smiles has joined up just yet. It looks like he is not. Alright, so, guys, now it's Game 2. And without further ado, let's go right on into this draft here. Alright, so we saw Game 1 was just amazing dominance by the Outer World Devourer in that game, as the lanes really kind of went to hell in every respect for Say No to Meepo. Their Kunkka in the mid lane didn't work out too well, and it looks like we have another issue here. Yep, so we're gonna duck right on out of this game again. It looks like, and here we go, okay. So coming back on into this game. There we go. Alright, so now we're going into Game 2. Oh man, okay, that was a little bit of difficulty to watch. Those of you who are joining into Dota2 TV again, hello and welcome, finally, to the Game 2 of a best of 2 series between Say No to Meepo and Team Ozone. This is your favorite caster, Sir Chicago Ted. My co-caster isn't quite here just yet, or rather, isn't going to be here tonight. Hopefully, he'll come here very soon. So, going on into this draft, we see Wisp being banned out, of course, from Say No to Meepo, but the Silencer actually coming out from Team Ozone. And then the Respect ban, no, that's not the Respect ban. They're banning it out because they're saying, okay, we don't want this game and we don't want you guys to get revenge, so we're going to ban it out this time and pick up our next pick. Demigod doing great on the Outer World Devourer last game, and if you didn't join me for the few remakes we had, Outer World Devourer absolutely dominated mid. Kunkka wasn't able to hold his ground and got out-harassed pretty heavily. And unfortunately for him, that involved him dying a few times. And all their other lanes just kind of broke down. The Weaver not doing as much as he could have done, getting out-farmed and not getting as much, well actually not out-farmed per se from by the Darkseer, but not getting as much as he would have hoped. And the tri-lane, the offensive tri-lane, the Dazzle, the Chaos Knight, and the Rubik, just getting themselves caught out in bad positions and, well, weren't able to secure up the kills that they needed. So, unfortunately for them, they just didn't do exactly what they wanted to do. So, they're hoping this game that they're able to pull it off. And Say No to Meepo picking up the Weaver again, so it looks like they're going to go with it. They're saying, okay, it didn't work last time, but we have a plan, we have a strategy, and we're sticking to it. So, I'm looking forward to them sticking it to, we're putting up their best fight. And Ozone Gonna pick up the Rubik for themselves, and then gonna pick up a Juggernaut. So some pretty diverse picks coming out from Ozone. This is stuff that I haven't seen them play too often. Rather, I've seen them play something different almost every single time, and I'm really excited to see how they make this one work. A team with a lot of strategies is a team that can win a lot of games. And let's see if it just works out for them. If this is one of their good strategies, or if this one falls through the cracks and Ozone and Meepo are able to pick up game 2. For those of you who don't know, in the group stages, the best of 2 series, they play 2 games regardless of who wins either games, and is a point system leading up to the grand finals. So, just waiting out to see what these teams kind of phase out to be, and Nyx Assassin as well as Darkseer. So Ozone and Meepo saying, okay, you guys did pretty well with the Darkseer, so we're gonna get rid of it. You guys already got rid of the Outer World Devourer, which was one of our big problems. Let's also get rid of Nyx, just so that we don't get ganked. So, again, they could be going, or this time they could be going for the later game carry.
5 seconds remaining.
So Ozone picking out the Alchemist. So they see Nyx got banned. Huh. Are they going to go for a late game carry? Are they going for someone who's weaker in the early game? And against a Juggernaut, if you can really secure your lanes and not give the Juggernaut too much, then you could have a pretty good mid to late game. But if you can't, you might be running into issues. And they pick out the Clockwork as well. So what does that tell us? They picked out the hero that can initiate out of position heroes and isolate and prevent them from attacking. They've also picked out the invisible ganker.
Radiant team pick.
Let's give this some thought here. Are they gonna run an anti-mage? I wouldn't be surprised in this game. The Magnus has been picked. They do have the overcharge. They could even run a gyrocopter if they want to, taking out the heroes that can isolate out the gyrocopter, who needs to stay in the middle or the back of the fight and not take too much damage. So I'm excited to see what they're going to pick out. Bounty Hunter, though, does get picked up, which is going to give Team Ozone a lot of gold, and it's going to help Juggernaut pick up that fast Aghanim Scepter, pick up that fast Butterfly, and really transition into a good game. Jakiro coming out for Ozone and Meepo, which is going to give a great tri-lane hero. And that's going to be responded right out with the Bat Rider pickup. Guys, I haven't seen Bat Rider played because he's been banned out just so much. But he finally falls through the cracks. And Team Ozone looking to have a really strong ganking lineup. Ozone and Meepo might want to think twice about picking up that heavy carry that will lose the early game.
5 seconds remaining.
But instead, they go right in, they pick up the Anti-Mage. And this is going to go late, hopefully. Ozone and Meepo, they want to take this late, give Anti-Mage plenty of space, give him plenty of farm. An empowered Anti-Mage with a Battle Fury is a force to be reckoned with, and certainly something that I don't want to fight too often. So we'll see just how they make this work. Bane going down. It looks like they're trying to ban out other tri-lane heroes, but I imagine a Shadow Demon or something else that can just keep Anti-Mage alive for a little bit longer. In fact, I would think a Shadow Demon would be their best choice. Take out any possibility for Team Ozone to get an offensive tri-lane with the Rubik, Juggernaut, and Shadow Demon. As Shadow Demon, one of the best lane encounters to Anti-Mage, because a novice Anti-Mage will pick up that mana break as guides, as common knowledge tells him to do. And what that means is the Shadow Demon will disrupt them, the Anti-Mage will get surrounded by his illusions, and guess what? The illusions break him. But instead, we see the Timber Saw pick up. So an interesting lineup, and Sadon and Meepo pick up the Shadow Demon themselves. So interesting draft going on. I'm not even going to guess the lineup coming out from Team Ozone, but I can almost guarantee Sadon and Meepo are going to put Anti-Mage smack dab in the middle of that safe lane, with Jakiru and Shadow Demon backing him up, and Weaver sitting in the off lane with Magnus in the middle. Ozone. Let's see here. Batrider is definitely going mid. Bounty Hunter is going to go safe lane, and it's going to be Rubik, Timbersaw, Juggernaut off lane. I think that's what's going to happen here, folks, as we go right on in to Game 2 of the best of 2 between Ozone and Sadon and Meepo. Let's give you guys the names of the heroes, the players going on right now. Dracula picking up his mid as Magnus. Brozu blinking around on the Anti-Mage. Brewman playing the Weaver. The Octahab on the Jakiru. And Renegade. Renegade and disrupting out on the Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, Trektus on his Juggernaut. Mr. ABC playing the Batrider. Timbersaw going mid. Rubik being played by Swagarius Epicurious. Sorry, Demigod on the Timbersaw going mid. And Hey Pig playing Bounty Hunter in the off lane. Alright, so I screwed this up a little bit. Bounty Hunter is indeed in the off lane. And Juggernaut, rather,
30 seconds.
Batrider is gonna jungle. Juggernaut and Rubik playing in the safe lane. And Timbersaw mid. So, Sadon and Meepo, Brozu, Octahab, and Renegade gonna make sure that their pole camp doesn't get blocked. And Twitch chat, just so you guys know, Twitch isn't the best, rather, Twitch is the only, so I gotta say it's the best or else they might throttle me a little bit. Regen rune coming out on top, but regeneration rune not the best rune in the early game. Anyway, for not know, Twitch does tend to lag a little bit, but I'm looking at my stream right now. And in the hour I've been streaming, it's been 0 frames dropped. I'm sorry, Bonzora, I don't quite understand what you're saying right now. I'm hoping you'll listen to this point in the cast, listen up to this point in the cast.
Not yours.
Alright, so in the mid, Demigod doing a little bit of harass. Does have the shockwaves to fight against, but he's got reactive armor and he's sitting on a 5.0 regeneration at 50 seconds. It's going to make him a huge presence in this lane. Dropping out the casual level 2 Whirling Death. And it's going to do a little bit of damage to Dracula. Meanwhile, Brozu sitting in the off lane without really any contest. Anti-Mage pretty much losing the safe lane if he's up against anything but a solo offlaner that isn't capable of harassing him. And right now, Bounty Hunter isn't one of the best harasses in the game, especially if they get a Sentry Ward down to block him. And he hasn't blocked the pole camp, so it's going to pull under tower, and that Bounty Hunter is going to have less of an option to do anything. Dracula taking plenty of damage, sitting at 270 right now, and no mana. His bottle isn't going to come up for another couple of seconds. Meanwhile, Demigod just doing great in this lane. 370 gold, 400 now, and he did start with a Quelling Blade. And Dracula just still waiting on his bottle. Going really slow right now, denying up more creeps. It's going to be a 2-minute bottle for the Magnus, which isn't great, but isn't terrible in any respect. Whirling Death coming out on the Dracula again. He's going to have to back off a little bit. Meanwhile, Trektus doing well in this lane, not getting harassed too much, but the denies are coming out from the Weaver, kind of blocking him up a little bit, but instead he's sitting 10-3. Anti-Mage countering him with an 11-3. So both safe laners are farming rather well, except the main difference is Magnus has 2-1, while Timbersaw is 11-6, and we see Batrider getting killed by a neutral at 2 minutes into the game, 2.5 minutes into the game. So Batrider becoming first blood, but not technically, as it goes down to a neutral. Neutral's OP. And Hey Pig, sporting some great little get up there. And it looks like instead we see Brewman getting picked up and dropped in the off lane, but able to get himself out of there, and Trek2's going to take the tower damage. Go back to Bounty Hunter. Hey Pig, Mask of the Distant stands, and right now he's going to get caught out a little bit. The mana break is out for him. He's got no mana right now. So if they want to go into this Bounty Hunter, he doesn't have any mana to invis out. Meanwhile, Weaver getting harassed plenty under the guise of this, or rather, not able to fall into the aegis of his invisibility. And Magnus would be smart to just charge Timbersaw right under tower right now. Instead, he goes in for the deny. Timbersaw knows it and gets himself out of trouble. Does Magnus know that charge is a huge... Oh, wait, no. That's not his tower. I am sorry. I was wrong. Alright, Bonzer. I'm sorry if you're lagging, man, but this is it's all on Twitch's side. I'm getting no drop frames, no lag on OBS's side, which is my streaming software. Just respond to the Twitch chat a little bit. I am on a 2-minute delay, for those who don't know, so they're going to be hearing this a little bit after I'm saying this. But, back to the game. Anti-Mage, farming up rather well. 22 and 5 at 4 minutes is exactly where he wants to be. Trek2 doing well to keep up with him in his own safe lane. In fact, it's pretty much neck and neck right now as we see the gold and XP actually sitting in Ozone's favor, which is probably thanks to this Demigod, who has now got caught out, and all Magnus needs is one well-placed Shockwave, and does he get it? No! Shockwave barely missing out. Magnus doesn't see the Timbersaw, and Timbersaw, despite being caught out, he is in his side. And there's no TP support coming in to take out this Magnus. Looks like the Illusion gonna try to pick up a few hits on him. But one slap to the face and the Illusion's down. Bounty Hunter able to drop under the aegis of his invisibility for a while. And that's gonna help him out a little bit. Does have mana and is not getting harassed too much by the Anti-Mage. A few hits though, and he wouldn't be able to go invisible, but he's not able to get away fast enough, or rather, Anti-Mage isn't able to catch up fast enough. And Batrider does have his bottle, but at 400 gold right now, not exactly where he wants to be. The stack gonna give him a little bit of a boost. He's trying to get as many stacks of the sticky napalm as possible, and they're just gonna burn pretty heavily. In fact, going down very fast as he's taking a little bit of damage, but fails to get the stack up on him. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage is able to pick up a little bit of damage on the Bounty Hunter, but the Ice Path doesn't fall true. And more sticky napalm stacks, and Mr. ABC picking up 300 gold from that. Gonna give him a little bit of a boost here. Ozone gonna see more of a gold lead, but dropping into a deficit for XP. Magnus picking up a regen room, which is gonna help him out in this matchup a little bit more. So Magnus, actually, I think he's one of the heroes that does get countered by the Timbersaw in the mid lane. As even if he pulls Timbersaw in, the Timbersaw can easily just get out. But here comes the charge, and the Demigod, he can't attack because he sent out his Chakram. But that, as I just said, the Timber Chain able to get him out of trouble. And has got plenty of health. In fact, say no to Meepo. Dracula using his ultimate on nothing. Jakiro, though, support coming in. It looks like he's going to get caught out. The disruption does come out on him. The Soul Catcher. And he's going to get blocked out, but it gets the Timber Chain. And instead, First Blood going his way as the Chakram able to pick up Demigod. And a bit of a misplay out from this Magnus. Rather, Demigod picking up First Blood from the Magnus. But again, a bit of a misplay from this Magnus. He's at low health, and if there's one thing Timbersaw likes to fight, it's heroes at low health. Weaver sitting really low, but Juggernaut taking a lot of damage. This his blade doing a little bit, but he's gonna have to juke on out of there. Weaver, the creep's gonna catch him out, and he's gonna get kicked down by the Shockwave. No, Weaver though picking up the last hit. And that's second blood Ozone and Meepo going up too. And actually, no. The first kill for them was on the Batrider. So technically, it's 1-1 right now. A very passive game as we see heroes like Animage really thriving. He does have his Ring of Health and probably has the broadsword coming out to him. Yep, Claymore actually. And looks like Magnus trying to do a little bit, but is not able to do enough. Timbersaw bitten back, but it looks like Disruption does come out. No, Renegade not there fast enough. He's not able to get the Soul Catcher or the Demonic Purge out. And Timbersaw is going to walk away. Actually, no. He has his bottle, and he has his eyes on this Anti-Mage. Do they have track? They do have track. The bottle, giving them just enough mana. Bounty Hunter, go in Viz, get the Janata proc, get the track. And this is certainly a dead Anti-Mage. Timbersaw way in the silence, but the creeps, they do spot out the Timbersaw, and the Anti-Mage knows he's going to get back out. In fact, the pings do come out. Anti-Mage is going to back right on off, so Timbersaw still wanting to go in on this, but there is going to be support. Instead, they're going to go for the Shadow Demon, who is caught out. Whirling Death with Disruption coming out. And then the double on the Ice Path. Going to do plenty of damage. The creeps doing a lot to the Shadow Demon. And he's going to go down to the Whirling Death. In fact, Anti-Mage picking up the Bounty Hunter with his ultimate. But Timbersaw picking a double kill. And here comes Magnus. Does have a charge, and that's going to be enough. Timbersaw going down, and Anti-Mage has enough to pick up his Perseverance. But that is, unless Mr. ABC is able to say something about it. He's looking to cut off the Anti-Mage as he runs away, but the Anti-Mage not running away. And a little bit of aggression out in the bottom lane. He does use his phase. And in fact, Sakuchi's right on under the Sentry Ward with the Ice Path, catching out the Rubik. And that's going to be another kill for Say No to Meepo. Meanwhile, Batrider has been caught out, and it looks like Magnus going to charge him away. And the Batrider does have Lasso. And then two sticky Napalms. All he does is need to lasso him in. Soul Catcher, though, out on the Batrider. Disruption breaking the lasso. And Dracula doing a little bit of damage to him. Knows he shouldn't get caught out anymore, but there is no Flame Break to help him out a little bit. And Timbersaw doing a lot of damage to this Anti-Mage, but Anti-Mage shrugging it off. Gonna be able to regen pretty fast at a 6.1 regen rate. And Dracula picking up a double damage. Gonna pop it off, gonna regen a little bit. And the rotation in from Octahab, as it looks like they want to try to go in on this Batrider later on in the match. Demigod, though, rotating back in mid. This could be trouble for them. They spot him out as he comes in with the ward placement. Great wards on the Radiant side. Dire do have only one, though. And it looks like to be one of their favorite ward spots. So it seems Dracula taking a little bit of harass from Demigod. Demigod doing great in this fight, as he did. Demigod playing a very strong mid-game, as we saw in Game 1. But right now it's a little bit even, as Say No to Meepo's lanes have been able to hold out, and Brozu gonna be able to outcarry this Juggernaut in the late game if he continues getting farm at the pace he is. Sitting 1-0 right now, and very close to his Battle Furies. He picks up the Broadsword at 11 minutes, and only needs a little bit more gold until he's able to pick up the Perseverance. Exactly the way they need to be. Let's take a look at the golden XP graph. Sitting now well in the favor of Ozone. But Say No to Meepo are still strong up in this game. Even though it doesn't show it, the Timbersaw really showing how, even if a mid hero is doing well, going to Timber Chain in, and going to get the regen rune. All he needs to do is pop it, but no, the Shockwave! Coming out, and is able to secure the kill. Dracula would have gone down if that hadn't come out and had it been on key. But he's able to get it, track out on the Octahab as they go in. There's a track both on Anti-Mage and Octahab. It looks like Juggernaut poning the the Magnus as he runs away from killing off that Timbersaw. But killing the Timbersaw, giving him a lot more than he lost when going down. In fact, actually lost a bit in that engagement. So Never mind. But Anti-Mage sitting 400 gold away from his Battle Fury and is going to be in a pretty good position in the coming minutes. As he's going to have a pretty standard 15-minute Battle Fury. And of course, the last Anti-Mage we saw had a, what was it, a 25-minute Battle Fury? So this is going to be well above our Reddit Dota 2 League average of games casted by me. And it looks like Timbersaw rotating into the top lane. Oh yeah, we've also got Lincoln Sphere to worry about. Last one being 30 minutes, or something of the like. But it looks like Magnus charging on out. Doesn't want to get lassoed. There's 4 people rotating in. And there is a Blink Dagger out on Mr. ABC. He pulls out the Jakiro, who's most certainly going to fall. The disruption out on the Rubik. There's only a 1-man RP, but the Rubik does go down. The Anti-Mage is going to be next to fall. Huge death. And it looks like Renegade going to get picked up, but not without dropping a Soul Catcher. Rather, Demonic Purge. Magnus wants this kill. All he needs is 1 Shockwave, but his turn rate rather slow with all the sticky napalm stacks. And Weaver Sakuchiing right in the path of the Timber Chain. Timbersaw going right through it. And Weaver is able to bring him down. Meanwhile, though, Magnus going down to Mr. ABC, who does get Ice Path. But he's going to go right on off. And going to get right on out of safety. In fact, there's plenty of heroes to come back him up. Timbersaw rotating back on in. Timber chaining right on out of the Ice Path, but still getting stunned up by it. Octahop taking lots of damage. And the ultimate coming out on Hey Pig. Anti-Mage just 1 blink, 1 attack, 2. No, he doesn't. He's not able to get it. He's going to have to dive under tower in order to get this kill. But the Rubik is there and he's going to catch him out of position. And he's going to get taken down by the Timbersaw. He knows he blinked in here. All he needs is 1 whirling death. And he's getting ready for it. No, they see him anyway. The Chakram able to bring him down. And instead, and Weaver getting his Sakuchi, taken from him. Taking a lot of harass from this Rubik. He's sitting on no mana. That's just 1 Sakuchi. And Ozone take, what was that, 5 or 6? It looked like 8 kills for nothing. And, well, 8 kills for a little bit, but not exactly the engagement Sano and Meepo wants. And right back in, like they were in game 1, they're at a heavy deficit. They still have to rely on Brozu doing plenty of damage, but since he died twice, he is nowhere close to his Battle Fury. And it's just going to the off lane, picking up the pieces. It has to pick up the pieces fast, or else this Battle Fury is going to be way belated. Already about average or standard average time right now. There is a stack though, out on the side of the Dire. But he doesn't quite have the cleave. Magnus does have level 1 Empower, so if Anti-Mage really wants, he could cleave down the stack with the Empower. But it looks like ABC spotting out the Jakiro. Able to blink right on up the lasso, the track, and that's most certainly a kill. No, the Ice Path. And the RP getting used on no one. Don't know if that was a mistake by him, but he could end up going down right now to Hey Pig. Taking a little bit of damage from the Shockwave. And in fact, Hey Pig might be the one to go down. 1 Shockwave to finish it off, and there it is. Right on target. And they're able to pick up the kill. Sano and Meepo trading a Jakiro for a Bounty Hunter. A fairly good trade if it weren't for Jakiro being lassoed up. Anti-Mage getting really close to his Battle Fury, it looks like. Sitting about 200 gold away from that. It looks like Demigod spots out the stack, but isn't able to do anything really with it. As he Soul Catchered up. Anti-Mage finding farm where he can. He knows that stack's there, but Timbersaw does as well. And Killing Spree out on Demigod as he Timber Chains right up next to the Magnus. And is able to bring him out. So no Empower for that Anti-Mage. And Brewman getting caught out a little bit by this Rubik, but might be able to secure the kill. No, the Whirling Death able to finish him off before he gets 1 last auto attack. Soul Catcher, will it be enough to kill him? Demigod doing great damage, and Soul Catcher dealing no damage. And they're going to go ahead and take out the stack, so it's a huge victory for them.
Top tower is under attack.
Bounty Hunter, Anti-Mage getting close to that Battle Fury, but already 17 minutes, and the jungle is being controlled by the Radiant. It picks up a Ursa camp, of all things. Trek Deuce doing what he
Dire's
can in the
top
bottom
tower
lane.
is under
His team's
attack.
giving him plenty of space. And he's saying, okay, you give me space, I give you a farm juggernaut. That's exactly what he's doing. Already is very close to his
Dire's top
Vladimir's
tower has
offering,
fallen.
but there's 4 heroes rotating in. It's not going to be much though. 18 minutes, and Mage finally picks up his Battle Fury, but while he's at a Battle Fury, a Stout Shield, and a Quelling Blade, Mr. Trek 2's on the Juggernaut already has Phase Boots, already has a Sanj and Yasha. And is getting very close. No, he already has his Vladimir's offering. But he might get ganked real soon as Disruption coming out on him. Soul Catcher, he didn't waste it. He knows he couldn't. No, he did waste it. But the Demonic Purge going to slow him out even in his Blade Fury. And Magnus just needs one more Shockwave. Ice Path missing out with a Shockwave coming out. And the Force Staff protecting Trektus for a little bit. Mr. ABC taking a lot of damage from the Jakiro from Dracula. But it's going to turn it right around. The RP coming out, saving Dracula for a few precious seconds, but he's going to have to back off. And instead, gives Mr. ABC a dominating streak. 18-9 right now. If I've ever seen a turnaround, this would be it. As 0-3, even though they were always ahead, the Animage had plenty of chance to bring this back together, but with an 18-minute Battle Fury, and right now struggling to pick his farm up, doesn't even have boots. Meanwhile, everyone on the enemy team, everyone on Ozone pretty much has their boots. In fact, I'm pretty sure, yeah, everyone on the enemy team has boots and has them leveled up. Mostly Phase, but he's in a lot of trouble. And I don't quite see where he's going to come back from this, especially if Ozone push really hard and are able to pick up the early racks, which they most certainly have the capability of doing.
Tower is under attack.
Now we do have a Empower on the Magnus, and we do have an
Radiant's
ultimate.
top tower has been denied.
But first tower to go down for Radiant, and it's denied. Something that Animage doesn't want at this point. Finally picking up his boots, but nowhere close to those treads. Actually, rather, he's 500 gold away from his treads. So, looking at this game, I think Sano and Meepo need to force a team fight. And in that team fight, they gotta get the RP out on all 5, or rather 4. Disrupt out the Timber Saw. Burst down the Juggernaut. Take out the Bat Rider. And then force down the Timber Saw. And that's a tough feat for them to do.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But if perfect execution comes out, and Ozone make a huge mistake, Sano and Meepo could come back into this game. Timber Saw only about 200, 300 gold away from his Bloodstone. It looks like Animage, what you don't want to happen, if you're a Sano and Meepo fan, is what just happened. Animage going down in the jungle, and Timber Saw going in on the Weaver. Not enough mana to really make anything of this, but Soul Booster giving a little bit of extra regen.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And both tier 2 towers now under wraps, or under fire. Ice Path protecting out Mr. ABC a little bit, and the ultimate from the Juggernaut finishing off the Shadow Demon. If there is any doubt that the tier 2 towers are going down right here, right now, it is completely gone. Timbersaw rotating out in the mid lane, so top might live to see another day. Mid though, not so lucky, as it falls at the 21-minute mark. And all 5 are here. Mana boost coming up really soon, going to put all these guys in a good position to break the base. All they would need to really secure the base break is a Roshan right now, and with Juggernaut picking up the smoke, that might be exactly what they do. Swagarius Epicurious getting the Weaver out right before his Sakuchi's, making him stay in place during some of that Sakuchi duration, but still has a little bit left to bring himself back out of there. And they're going to turn their aggression right on the top tower. Timber Chain coming out in the Magnus, uses the Chakra, but knows it ain't going to catch up. And Bat Rider pulling out the Magnus, so if he goes down, that's an ult that they can't afford to lose, and they pick up 2 inside the RP, but it isn't quite able to do really anything. And Timbersaw going right on in. Weaver able to pick off the Rubik, but Timbersaw going right on into the Shadow Demon. And oh, hey,
Dire's
Pig.
top tower
Picking
is
up the
under
kill.
attack.
So it's a 2-for-1 trade. And a top tier 2. Definitely going to go down. Brewman, though, staying alive. And Anti-Mage getting all that XP and actually split pushing down the bottom tier 2.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is
actually
under
doing it
attack.
rather fast. The glyph has been
Radiant
used.
structures are fortified.
Meanwhile, Juggernaut
Dire's
has
top
been
tower
roaching.
is under attack.
Anti-Mage gonna come under fire from Mr. ABC. He's got no mana. Anti-Mage probably could have fought it, but
Has fallen to the
Trek
Radiant.
2's picking up Roshan and picking up a few extra levels. Let's look at hero level right now. Actually, Timbersaw still ahead on pure lane dominance. And Demigod doing great in almost every position. He's every time he's been playing mid, dominating the game 1 with that Otherworld Devourer and just showing that he isn't a one-trick pony. Dominating mid as Timbersaw this time. And guys, if I haven't seen a pub stomp game yet today, I think this will be it. As Mr. ABC picking up the Dagon 1. And all of them are going to rotate in. And they're going to go to break the base real soon. Anti-Mage does have a TP scroll if he needs to go back. But it's going to be really soon, I bet. Juggernaut, a force to be reckoned with right now. As he's outputting plenty of damage with that crit. It's a lot of damage to have to deal with. And Timbersaw pinging the top tier 3. And it looks like this is going to be the point, guys. This is going to be the point at 24.5 minutes where they decide to climb the stairs like Rocky himself and break the base. Disruption coming out on the Shadow Demon himself, giving a little bit extra damage to force back these, force back the wave. Force back the 4 heroes. And Batrider coming up to try to do a little bit on the Shadow Demon. But with the Force Staff, he'll get himself out of trouble. And they're going to wait for the next creep wave. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage doing a great job with his split push. Almost got his Yasha up. Delay the game, say no to Meepo. Delay it as far as possible. Anti-Mage still has a chance of bringing this back together if you give him plenty of space. He's putting a lot of pressure on this bottom tier 2, but before you know it, Juggernaut getting a full ultimate off and killing 2 heroes just like that. Shadow Demon going down, and Anti-Mage just staying down. Gonna try to base race this, as all that's left to defend is the Magnus. Looks like they're giving up the top racks. 4 heroes in, 3 down for nothing. And Anti-Mage is gonna go ahead and break the base himself, but there's too many heroes, and they all have TP scrolls. They can all go back when they need to. And they're saying, you know what, screw it. If Anti-Mage wants to base race us, we're gonna give him hell, and we're gonna go in for a second Rax. And there it goes, guys. Mid tier 2 going down pretty heavily. The glyph being used up to give it a little bit more time. Brozu doing all he can, but this tower isn't even down to half health. Meanwhile, mid tier 2 is sitting very low. And Sano and Meepo doing all they can to delay this as much as possible. Dual Breath going out on the Timbersaw. But he's going to be able to pull right back out of there. Trek 2's picking up a mega kill on the Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage finally taking out this tier 3. And it's going to go on the rack. But Mr. ABC picking up a Wicked Stick. Wicked Stick, hey Pig, out on dominating. Whiff of an RP going out. Picking up no one. And all of them are down except Anti-Mage, who's still trying to base race. Meanwhile, the mid-racks are still standing. Anti-Mage is doing what he can to make it harder and harder to take out the bottom racks. He's going to back off. Go on into the mid lane and try to pick up a few kills with this bonus goal that he's just got. He is sitting on a Yasha. And he's saying, okay guys, I got the racks. Let's defend. Magnus isn't up just yet. And this tower is falling really fast. They need to have everyone there. Without everyone there, they might knock their way. Track going out on the Anti-Mage. They know where he is at all points. Magnus almost out. But this bottom melee Rax is going to fall. The Chakram catching out 4. Plenty of damage. The Anti-Mage trying to do what he can. But there's too much damage out from the Timbersaw. Weaver doing a lot against this against the Juggernaut. But the Aegis does get popped. And that isn't a kill if they can pick up the Dagon. Going out on the Anti-Mage. And the Anti-Mage getting lassoed up Guys, if he goes down, it's GG. And it looks like Jakiro gonna meet a similar fate as the Anti-Mage with the Flame Break to pick him up. Magnus taking plenty of damage from this Timbersaw, who with reactive armor is sitting on 34 armor. Wicked Sick out for Trektus with a double kill. And everyone down, the GGs have been called. Game 2 of a best of 2 series between Ozone and Seidon and Meepo.
Dire's bottom barracks are radiant victory.
And it looks like Seidon and Meepo weren't able to pull it quite together this game 2, having a pretty strong start, but not able to keep it going. Taking a few fights they shouldn't have, and overall just losing the early advantage, losing all they had, and taking a 10-minute 12k deficit. Guys, you've been listening to Chicago Ted. Looks like I'm out for the night. Peace to you all. Have a great night, and I'll see you next game.